My neighbor left her 6 children on my doorstep and told me to babysit them for a few days, so I sent her a video of her children being picked up by child services. My husband and I live in a cul-de-sac. Everyone is too close to one another, which means people are naturally in each other's business. Right from the beginning, I had issues with one of our neighbors. She is the type of woman who lets her children wander about without a care, but that is not the worst part. She has an uncanny skill for talking the neighbors into babysitting for her. I am normally the type to say no, but I have been roped into it way too many times. Yesterday she came knocking on my door again, so I pretended I wasn't home. She continued hitting harder, and I thought she would yank the letterbox immediately, so I went to answer. She quickly said a few sentences I didn't quite understand, and that she would return on Sunday. She has 6 children ranging from 6 months to 7 years old. I told her I couldn't, and she said the black cab awaited her. I tried to grab her hand to stop her from leaving. I said I could not, so she ran off and got in the cab. I was pissed, and that is putting it mildly. I waited 40 minutes and then texted her that if she couldn't pick them up in 10, I would call children's services. She didn't answer the text, so I called her. She didn't pick up on the first 2 rings but picked up on the third. I told her the same thing again, and she tried to tell me it was too late for her to come back as she was out of the city, and that if I didn't want to watch them drop them off at Jennifer's, the 68-year-old lady with health issues living on the opposite side of me. I repeated that if she wasn't here in 10, she could pick them up at the local council if they decided she was a fit enough mother. She said a few bad words and told me I would never, so I did as in the moment. It felt like she was baiting me. After phoning child services, I texted her that it was done. She phoned me back and said she was halfway to Blackpool and would murder me if it were true. So I sent her a video when child services picked them up. The police were there too, as they said they often tag along to collect abandoned children in case something criminal has happened, and they asked a lot of questions about the mother. Last night, my husband and I had a huge fight. My husband was in foster care and he said, "Right cow you are." He said I should have declined at the door instead of waiting 40 minutes before calling CSC when the mother couldn't reasonably pick them up in 10 minutes. He said I had other options, like not opening the door or running after her and throwing the children into the black cab instead of giving silent consent. He also said I did it on purpose, as the mother offered Jennifer as an alternative, so why hadn't I done that? In my defense, I am not comfortable handing over children to a third party, and good manners say you don't show up on an elderly lady's doorstep and give her 6 unruly children to deal with for a few days. I would never have lived down that shame. My husband argued that once I had dropped them off at Jennifer's, it would no longer be my business but something between the mother and our other neighbor. He told me anything that happened to those children in care was on my head, and then he told me what he experienced and what he knew of others who had experienced it. I haven't slept much, and my husband left for work without speaking to me. I wonder if I should go back to child services and say I overreacted, or that it was a misunderstanding, and find a way to make it up to the children and get them out of there. I had no idea foster care was that bad. Update: the mother came back the same day. It seems the police wanted to have a word with her. Up until this morning when her ex came to pick some of their children's oldest and number 3 stuff from the house, she avoided talking to me. He came with a police escort. While the police were there, she came to mine and screamed bloody murder. This time I reported it, and I also mentioned to the police that she threatened to murder me, although I think that was more of a figure of speech. From what she said and what neighbors have said, they have been in dispute about child custody for a while, and with this incident, he may get full custody. When the police took her into her house to calm her down, her ex asked me and my husband if we would attest to her abandonment if the police report isn't enough at the next hearing. He has them until then. The father of the baby has been given the baby. When the police came to pick the children up, they found no formula in the bag and asked me if she had given me money for buying it. I said no, and due to abandonment and forced starvation, she may never see the baby again, as her chances of getting the baby back are slim. The other 3 are still in care, and although my husband and I called to check up on them, my husband wanted to know if we could take the 3 of them in, but that is not an option as we haven't completed a PRID course, home study, and even if we had it, still wouldn't have been a guarantee as we are not related, so they have to try close family first. They discovered that there hadn't been electricity at her place for long periods. There was very little food, and neither the bathroom nor the kitchen was clean. She also accused me of being the reason why she was behind on the housework, which makes no sense to me. I will not be divorcing my husband, as this is the first time he has called me a name. He did apologize, a few times actually, and bought me a beautiful bouquet.